welcome to Story Time. This is Superintendent Galvan with the Greenfield Union School District. I am so excited to be right here at Oak Avenue School for recording your book stories for this week. And I'm here with the wonderful principal, Mr. Sanchez. Say hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. And then tonight, it's good evening when they're going to bed, so say good night.
Oh, good night. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. And then we're in Miss Iracheta's classroom.
Good evening.
Hope you're doing really well, and we hope you had a really great day at school today.
Yes.
So tonight, we're going to read you some stories. So each day this week, we're going to read a different story, and so Mr. Sanchez is going to read, Miss Iracheta is going to read, and we have other guest readers you're going to meet this week as well. I'm going to be your reader for tonight, and it's called The Best Nest. And we are here in Miss Iracheta's class with all her fabulous, smart, bold, brave, and beautiful children of first grade. And you'll see a few here in the middle, and they'll say bye to you at the end of our story. Okay, The Best Nest. Mr. Bird was happy. He was so happy he had to sing. This is Mr. Bird's song. I love my house, I love my nest. In all the world, my nest is best. What? He loves his nest. He lives in a nest because he's a bird, right? Then Mrs. Bird came out of the house. It's not the best nest, she said. What? Why did she say that? I'm tired of this old place, said Mrs. Bird. I hate it. Oh, that's a powerful word. Let's look for a new place right now. Wait, she's a little grouchy, huh? Yeah, that's probably too nice. So they left the old place to look for a new one. This place looks nice, said Mr. Bird. Let's move in here. You mean they could just move in any hole they want? That's what they're doing. Wonder what's going to happen.
Over there.
But somebody already lived there. You're right. There was a raccoon. Get out of here. So they looked at another house. And this one looks nice, said Mr. Bird. And there's nobody in it. They're going to jump in a shoe?
There would be a person.
You're wrong, said Mrs. Bird. This house does belong to someone. It belongs to a foot. Oh, no. They'd get squashed like a bug.
Wrong house.
Yup. So they went on looking. Oh, I like this one, said Mr. Bird. It is a pretty red flag on it. And it's metal. Oh, I've always wanted a house with a flag, said Mrs. Bird. Maybe this is the right place.
But they will put tickets there.
I know they're going to put checks and letters, huh? But it's not the right place. I guess I made a mistake, Mr. Bird. Can't do that. That's where the mailman puts the mail, huh?
Yeah.
You make too many mistakes, said Mrs. Bird. I'm going to pick the next house. Wow, she said Mr. Bird wasn't the smartest one to pick the house. And here it is, right here. We're going to go right here.
Oh, no, but there will be a girl there.
You think so?
Yeah.
They flew in, they looked around. Isn't it too big? Said Mr. Bird. I like this big place, said Mrs. Bird. This is the place to build a new nest.
Good choice.
All right, let's see
No.
what happens next. They went right to work. They needed many things to build their nest. So they got some hay. Nice. They got some soda straws. Nice. Some broom straws. Nice. And they got some sweater strings off of a boy. What? Ah, while he was wearing it. They got some stocking strings and some mattress stuffing. Some cotton. They're making a new nest. They even got some horsehair off a horse. Oh, can you imagine pulling the horse off of that hair? And then they got some man hair. Ah, off of a man with a beard in the park. Ew, I know, right?
I could like that.
Okay, soon they had all the things they needed. All the straw, all the hay, all the string, some hair, and the man hair, and they could carry it. They took it all back to build their nest. Me and Mrs. Bird worked very hard. It took them the rest of the morning to build that nest. The nest is really the best. said Mrs. Bird. I want to stay here forever. Do you think it's a good spot?
No.
Where is it, friend?
The thing will bing and then it will fall.
The big bell, when they hit it, it's going to go bing. And you think it's going to fall? How many
Yeah.
agree with that? I hope not, because that was a lot of work, but let's see. Mr. Bird was very happy too. He flew to the top of the house. He sang his song. I love our house. I love our nest. In all the world, our nest is best. He was so busy singing, he didn't even see Mr. Parker coming. Mr. Parker?
Oh, no.
Who's Mr. Parker? Every day at 12 o'clock, Mr. Parker comes to the church. Mr. Parker pulls the rope. The rope goes up to the bird's nest. Oh no. You know,
I
you're
know.
doing like a really good build
I
and
know.
putting blocks together and somebody knocks them down?
I
You
know.
think that's what it's going to feel like?
I know how.
What do you know? Tell me.
I remember. I think I do it right. He will think, and then the bird will smile, and then they will fall. Then when they will fall, and then they will get in the.
You think so? Let's see. The rope rang the big bell right under the bird's nest. Oh no, look at Mrs. Bird. She's startled. She says, what is going on? All that work. When Mr. Bird came in, all he could see was a mess of hay and string. And where was
Hey.
Mrs. Bird?
In here.
Oh no, where is she? I will look for her until I find her, said Mr. Bird. He looked everywhere. He looked high and low for Mrs. Bird. He looked down the chimney, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. He looked down the water barrel, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. He looked by the big fat cat, had a big fat smile on his face. But there were some pretty brown feathers near the cat's mouth. Mr. Bird began to cry. Oh dear, did that big cat eat Mrs. Bird?
No. Yes.
The evidence looks like it's possible.
Yes.
Mr. Bird flew off. I'll never see Mrs. Bird again, he cried. It was getting so dark, it began to rain. It rained harder and harder. Mr. Bird could not see where he was going. He's so sad. Crash! Oh, Mr. Bird bumped into something. Oh my gosh. It was the old house. That old house that Mrs. Bird hated. I'll go inside, Mr. Bird said. I'll just rest here until the rain stops. Mr. Bird went in, and there was Mrs. Bird, sitting there singing. I love my house. I love my nest. In all the world, this nest is the best. You? Here? Gasped Mr. Bird. I thought you hated this old nest. Mrs. Bird smiled. I used to hate it, she said, but a mother bird can change her mind. You see, there's no nest like an old nest for a brand new bird. They're gonna have a baby bird. And when the egg popped open, the new bird thought so too. Ta-da! Oh, that's a good story. Yay! All right, boys and girls, the best nest. So this is what you're going to get a treat from all these wonderful people all this week. So now we're going to do the special goodbye. Ready, everyone? Put your hands on your body like a hug. And we are going to we're going to wish you good night and send a great big brown bear hug. Ready? And you say it with me. From our family to
Our family to
yours. Point to the camera, you in the front, to yours.